mentioned, the John Newton Russell Memorial Award is the highest honor that can be bestowed upon an individual in the life insurance and financial services industry. The award recognizes a lifetime of professional excellence, service to the industry, and commitment to ethical conduct. And this year is no exception. It has been said that your reality is the self-imposed boundary between your faith and your self-confidence. If you want to change your reality, you have to grow your faith and step out of your comfort zone. This year's nominee has helped inspire and motivate millions of people from all around the globe to do just that. He's an author, a speaker, and one of our industry's most recognized figures. If you are an insurance and financial services professional, there is an excellent chance that this year's winner has had a positive impact on your career. It is my honor to introduce your 2023 John Newton Russell Memorial Award recipient, Mr. Joe Jordan of New York. Give it up for Joe.
Well, thank you very much, and I have to tell you, I'm flattered to be receiving this award. And for those of you who've heard me speak over the past few years, you've heard me talk about the importance of gratitude. So the easiest way to make your blessings count is to count your blessings and be grateful for what you have, and you'll have more. Focus on what you don't have, and you'll never have enough. So I have a few people here that I want to share gratitude with, and first is my family. And here they are, and they're sitting over there on the table. My daughter, Sarah, my son, Joey, and of course, my wonderful wife, Geraldine. They were my bedrock support that I could always depend upon, and I remember my mother telling Geraldine around the time we were going to get married, she said, "Dear, I can't promise you anything, but it won't be boring." And It hasn't been. The other person is a guy named Bob Ben-Moshe. Bob and I worked together when we were at Payne Webber. It was during the Baldwin United crisis, and some of you might remember, if you're long enough in the tooth, what happened then. And usually in a corporate setting, if you're sitting on a disaster, everybody abandons you, but Bob never did that. He always supported me, and always made the tough decisions, always for the right reasons. Then I was instrumental in bringing him over to MetLife. He took over the joint, and he became CEO, and from there he took over AIG, and he saved the company. And for those of you who forget what AIG was like at that time, they were burning crosses on employees of AIG. It was a bad news thing. And he paid the federal government back $180 billion, plus a $20 billion profit. Nobody else did that. That was the type of guy that he was, you know. And then the other person is a guy named Nick Murray. And while I was at MetLife, they wanted me to start a fee-based financial planning program. I had absolutely no idea what the hell that was. So I looked up Nick, and at first I was going to have a meeting with him, and I thought he was going to talk about numbers and charts and graphs. And he talked about behavior, and he talked about how you deal with people. And all of his books that are out there make the complex simple, but most importantly, he gave us the words to say. He raised our confidence, and generations of financial advisors owe their livelihoods, I think, to Nick Murray. And then I want to talk about my mom and my family that is here, my two sisters and brother. My mother woke up one day to find out that her successful, politically astute husband was dead. No insurance, no skills, no job, and she had to raise 4 children, all of whom are here tonight. My mother had to make some hard choices. My two sisters were informed that they couldn't go to college because they had to go to work to make sure the boys went to college. How do you like those decisions? It took me until I was 54 years of age, preparing for my main platform opening speech at 2004 MDRT, to understand the implications of my father's death and the importance of our profession. I was 54 when that happened. Now, how did I get in the insurance business? Well, there was no heroic revelation. See, I was a Catholic big brother, and one of the board members played for the New York Giants, and that was my second religion. And he said, come join me in the insurance business. So what the hell was I going to do? Say no to ex-Giants? So that's how I got in. I also think we owe some gratitude to NAIFA. We all owe a debt of gratitude to them. We're facing a rerun now of the DOL rule, which is a solution that's in search of a problem. And we all need to get behind NAIFA and to get our colleagues to join the fight. This is really serious. Now, 2 years ago, Roland Abade, well, I was invited to come to this meeting 2 years ago by Roland Abade, who received the John Newton Russell Award back then. And I had not been very active with NAIFA, and I had lost touch with the organization. And I was very impressed, I felt, with the new era of professionalism. I sensed and what a great job Kevin and his staff has done. And I was impressed with Tom Michael and Larry Holzberg and Brian Holtz. By the way, Brian, if you get on his LinkedIn, he's got the wildest stuff that he knows. And it's eclectic. I said it wrong. I don't know what that. Okay, but anyway, it's really great, and I'm looking forward to Tom Corcoran's presidency too. And I made a commitment then that I wanted to go to as many NAIFA meetings as possible. I've seriously downplayed my fee. By the way, all of your folders has a one-page flyer from me, so I would really like to do that. I think I've been able to bring more people in. And since I heard today that, you know, getting more people in the business and getting more people to join NAIFA is most important, what I'm suggesting is, why don't you go to your managers and tell them to bring their recruits? Because I think I can give them a different perspective on what the business is about, and let them know that it's a noble profession. So anyway, when Roland told her story, she showed this picture. And I saw that, and it resonated with me, because that's my mother. There she was, single, 2 kids, babies, and she decided to join the insurance business. She had no one to relate to. She had to succeed, and indeed she did. And I think that's something that's important. But Rosalind and my mother would agree on one thing: nobody cares. That's a tough truth for people to understand. And it's as Nick Murray says, it's yo-yo, you're on your own. So we care. And that's what makes it a noble profession. So as I reflect on receiving this award, I look back on how I got here. Father Rushmore at Fordham recruited me to be a Catholic big brother, where I met my wife, Geraldine. She was a social worker, and I was a Catholic big brother. I know you want to get sick right now. It's out of the bells of St. Mary's, you know what I mean? Tom Costello was a board member of Catholic Big Brothers, and that's how I joined the insurance business. To meet Bob Ben Moshe at Payne Weber, and then where he became the CEO, and then AIG, and saved the company. And then Jack Turner, who got me on the main platform of MDRT, to be the opening speaker in 2004. When I had to prepare for that meeting, I began to understand the implications of the fact that my father died, and the implications to my family, and that's when I wrote Living a Life of Significance, and to champion the cause of a noble profession that we represent and NAIFA defends. So it reminds me of the old quote from T.S. Eliot. He said, "We will not cease our explorations, and at the end of all of our exploring is to return to the place we began, but knowing the place for the first time." I am convinced that God orchestrated all of these events. And my message to you is, don't quit. Look, I know some days you're in the throes of a pity party, okay? You're wondering why you're in this business, and imagine if you had another profession where people, you know, they respected you more instead of all the Woody Allen implications for those people. Remember the movie that he talked about. Well, maybe I could be a doctor. Well, doctors always fail because everyone dies. Sorry, Doc. One of my friends is a doctor, okay? So if that's the case, what really matters? What will matter is not what you bought, but what you built. What will matter is not what you got, but what you gave. What will matter is not your success, but your significance. What will matter is not what you learned, but what you taught. What will matter is every act of kindness and or sacrifice that enabled others to emulate your example. What will matter is not your memories, but the memories of those who loved you. What will matter in the end is how long you're remembered, from whom and for what. Living a significant life is not something that happens by accident. It's a choice. So make the right choice and don't quit. And thank you.